Okie dokie. I just got back with Lucy, so I didn't get the chance to put the other video up first, so we're doing this one first. Sorry if it confuses people, but I'm always confused. You're in my world now. All right, so what's going on here? Let's see. Part of the big thing is there's supposed to be negotiations starting on the peace deal tomorrow. Maybe yes, maybe no. JD Vance is there, somebody to blame. That's what Trump will do. You know that. Trump is just all over the map, so I have no idea. He's not doing any negotiating except with himself, apparently. That's what they're saying in the news. And one of the rules of his own book, Art of the Deal, is never appear desperate. And he is appearing desperate because he needs a deal over there or he's going to look like the biggest ass in the world. Well, he already looks like the biggest ass in the world, but he's really going to have some serious problems with people if he can't put a deal together. They're not going to look to him to negotiate anything. And personally, I don't think the choice of negotiators, his son-in-law, J.D. Vance and whatnot, are good choices, okay? Because they're basically over there to make deals for themselves, not for the government of the United States, okay? So that is a bad thing. I don't think it's a good thing at all. Uh, I think it's a horrible thing. But I've never been real big on the art of the deal anyhow, because it's him using other people's money and he's pulled every trick he can possibly pull, and it would appear that Iran is smarter than he is. Well, these guys got nothing to do all day long except read books. They probably read every book he wrote. They know his plans, backwards and forwards. What they don't understand now is that he's slightly demented. How far he is gone over the edge is up for conjecture. So we have to wait and see what happens there. But he is definitely demented, and so you don't know what he's saying, how that reflects anywhere. He's threatening people. He's doing all kinds of. If you're negotiating, you never pull the stunts that he's pulling. You sit down and you try to talk to these people reasonably. If it doesn't work, then you walk out and you start throwing bombs at them. But he's playing a game, and I don't know what it is. And it's not healthy for the world. It's causing the world a great deal of grief, and it's not going to go away in a week or two. People are saying that gasoline prices are going to be high till the end of the year. Of course they are. You're coming into the winter fuel oil season very soon, or not. No, I'm not. What am I talking about? You're coming into the the gasoline consumption peaks now, so it's gonna. I think life is gonna get rough. We'll have to wait and see what goes on there. And this one, I didn't get to read the story because, like I said, I just walked in a few minutes ago. NATO intercepted Russian bombers and fighters over the Baltic Sea. Now, what does that mean? We were sending that stuff to trying to get that stuff to Ukraine or something. I don't know. This stuff gets really. People are pushing everybody's buttons right now to see what they're going to do, that gets very, very dangerous, and if they put something like AI in charge of NATO's responses, we're doomed. Just go find yourselves a hole, dig it, take canned foods, guns, and ammunition. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be nice, no matter. Saying it ain't gonna be nice, no matter what you think. Oh no, I won't do that to you now. I'll get that later. Anyhow, moving on. Hegseth is scrapping the mandatory flu shots for the troops. Well, I don't know. Is the flu season's in October? I think, right? That'll be when we find out whether that was a good idea or not. Based upon everything this country's doing, that getting rid of all the stuff that helped us get rid of a lot of diseases and control a lot of diseases, what you're getting now is a situation where only the rich are getting certain benefits. You're not getting them, and this is going back to what I talk about every once in a while: the French Revolution. And let them have bread or cake, whatever she supposedly said. And then they, took her head. Uh, that would be nasty if they built a guillotine for Trump. They'd have to build it extra strong just to get him. They'd have to get a crane to get him up there, anyhow. So I don't know. But I do know that as he takes away more and more of our ability to legally defend ourselves and legally fight his actions, he's leaving no course. And he's under the impression that every member of the military service that's still there will fight for him. And I've got, there's a lot of cases of troops refusing deployment because it's based upon it's an illegal order. You know, I don't know whether that's why our troops are still sitting on the ships overseas. I think it's the 82nd Airborne that's in one of those boats. That those guys don't like to be penned up. That's why they joined the Airborne. The Airborne is always playing war games, is always doing something. Now you got these guys sitting on a ship, playing mubbly pig on the deck. You know what I'm saying? That's when you throw knives at people's foot and see how close you can get it. It's a kid's game, which I always won. But that's the way it goes. Don't make a lot of sense. You take flu shots away, you take this away, you take that away. It's you've made it impossible for these guys to get treatment for PTSD. What they're doing now, they're really researching psychedelics so that these guys can get, supposedly that'll help them with PTSD when they come back. I think they're going to suffer from more than PTSD when they get back the way that things are going. To me, PTSD is when you're sitting there in your foxholes and you watch the guy next door to you get blown away. And you try to figure out why nothing happened to you. That's what causes PTSD. Also causes the hero complex to emerge, where you just go out and you think you can do anything, that you're invincible, until somebody puts a bullet in your head. So I'm trying to figure out Trump's plan, and I've come to the conclusion there isn't one. Like I said, he's always about the spontaneity, the whim, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's really, really true right now. I think he just has no idea what he's doing or why he's doing it, other than that he feels it's right. But he's got our armed forces all over the world, which wasn't supposed to be going on right now. He keeps threatening wars or occupation forces or whatever, and everywhere, because he can't handle what's going on in America. He doesn't know how to handle the American economy because there's too many rich people out there trying to tell him what to do, and they're willing to tell him what to do with gold bars. You know what I'm saying? So he has a problem there. He has a problem that he's not thinking straight where that's coming from. It's all about money. and the more money they give him, the more they're going to get, back. So I don't know if I would trust Donald with anything right now, but who knows? Life gets complicated every day, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. So what's going on with you guys? Anything exciting going on? I mean, do you have any? You're able to shake the anxiety of what's happening in the country long enough to go and enjoy yourself, take a walk in the park or something. It's really scary. Uh, and the thing was, when I said they interviewed all these young people, and what do they want? What are they upset about Trump? Because he's not doing enough mass deportations, and he's not doing enough about affordability. Well, you get rid of all these people, and like I said before, you know, you put an ad in the paper in a nice area of Morris County, and you say dishwashers, busboys, cleaning personnel wanted, whatever. You're going to get Latinos with no papers, young black men that want outrageous pay for the job. You're not going to see if you get a white guy, he's going to have some personal problems, alcohol or something else usually. Because if he's got a half an education, he's not going to be a dishwasher. You know, it's like the white guys that I knew that graduated from culinary school. They're like a friend of mine. My friend of mine graduated college and went to IBM. IBM wanted him to come to work for him, and they offered him $10,000 or something, $9,000 or $10,000 a year at the time. And we're talking back in the early 70s. He graduated in 64. So yeah, about 71, 72. And he refused it. He wanted $30,000 a year to start, which back then was a lot of money. But that's what they did. That's what kids do. And you've got bus boys that want to be paid, you know, well, they'll get paid, I guess, 24, but they want $25 an hour plus tips. That's not going to happen. They'll make more money than I will. And I was a manager. Uh, they system is on the verge of cracking. Uh, and what happens is and you see it every day, and I see it every day. Okay, especially you see it down here. They raised the minimum wage to I don't know. They get big raise. Okay, so let's say it went to $25 down here or whatever. It's not that's not the number, but let's just say for sake of argument. And the maintenance fees in all the buildings went up, which causes the rents to turn around and go up, and in turn, the cost of uh, and these cashiers and whatnot are getting $25 an hour now. The price of food's going up, and I don't know why you don't call it inflation, but that's what they do. What's up, Lucy? Lucy's here to say hello. But and I mean, I used to get cost of living increases when I worked for Chrysler Credit Corporation. They were nice for raises every year. And what would happen is that by the time March or April came around, the cost of gasoline and everything else went up. So there was no such thing as an increase in my pocket, pocket change. No, it wasn't there. You want an increase in pocket change, you have to get sneaky. You have to make incomes other ways. You have to almost have to have a second income because unless you're a billionaire, your primary income isn't going to do it. And they raised their prices, because they got to pay people more money. You know, I worked in a place that paid us waiters and waitresses. I think it was 210 an hour back when I was working because of tips. But then they made you have to report the tips, which you don't have to do anymore. Again, and uh, I was getting paid $5 an hour to wait tables, $6 an hour to 10 bar. These are way above the minimum wage for these particular positions back then, and it's reflected in the cost of other items. You lose something. We didn't have insurance. We were paid $5. We were paid $3 more than the minimum wage, but we got no insurance, health insurance, or any other kinds of insurance. So you know, that's that. But taking the flu shots away from troops, that could, man, you're gonna see, you're gonna see more guys going on sick call because they can. All right, that's it for me today. I'm gonna try and do another video, maybe right after this. Maybe yes, maybe no. It depends on what's going on in my house. In the meantime, everybody take care. Have a great day. And I will talk to you tomorrow, hopefully on time, but don't bet on it.